at dusk, there came a turning. There was a moment when all was known. You could feel beauty rising.
Hi, I'm Sue Skasky with Vermont Volunteer Services for Animals Humane Society.
And I'm Lauren Skasky, also with VVSA.
And I'm Susan Fleming, also with VVSA.
Today we have Susan Fleming, also a VVSA board member, and Newport City Strays in New Hampshire. Other parts of the country too where she does an awful lot of work. And we're here to talk about good dogs, bad raps. She's brought her dog Pinky. And Pinky, first of all, I guess first I'm going to give you the history of the American Pit Bull Terrier. The name Bulldog was first recognized in 1631. Bulldogs were described as bait dogs used to bait bear and bulls. They were also later used for all types of work, including hunting, stock work, and helpers on the farm, as well, of course, as companion animals. Then a law in 1835 was passed in England that prohibited the use of these dogs as bait. However, over the next few years, people found another way to replace that with dog fighting. Dog fighting now is a crime in all 50 states.
Susan, thanks for coming with Pinky. Can you tell me about Pinky's history?
Well, Pinky is about 13 years old now, and I've had her for over 10 years. She came from Miami, from a very bad ghetto situation, was rescued by one of my volunteers, and had not some physical problems, but mental problems, because she was missing her puppies and had been abandoned and was a very, very depressed dog. So, as the laws in Miami and in Dade County prohibit the ownership of pit bulls, all my volunteers were after me when I was in Miami, please get the dog out of here. So I did. And I wasn't in the market for a dog at the time, and not a pit bull, but she's the best that I could ever have. Took a while. Took over a year to get rid of her anxieties and things like that, and also for her to listen to me and to realize who's the boss around the house, and it isn't her.
So you said that pits are illegal in Miami. When was that legislation introduced, and was there a lot of controversy? You know, I'll tell you, I would never ever have a blanket law tell me that I had to give up. Kiwi, who, you know, is my beloved, I've talked about him so many times, part pit, but yeah. Tell me about that.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Well, as a matter of fact, I don't think there was much controversy about the law passing, because there was always stories in the paper, people getting bitten by a pit and this and that, and other dogs being killed by a pit. So there wasn't any controversy, but the intent of the law was to try to get on top of the terrible dog fighting situation, which of course will never happen, because the dogs that are being fought for money never see the light of day, and no cop will ever see them. So the people, innocent people with innocent dogs who are not a problem, are suffering because of that. And I have to say one thing, that the law is not that strictly enforced.
Really?
No, it's not that strictly enforced. I was very hesitant to even come into Miami, because with a pit bull you are not even supposed to drive through Dade County on your way to another county, even if the dog is licensed in another state.
How do they prove a dog is pit? I mean, look at Kiwi. Kiwi was lab, chow, and
yeah, he was
and
but you
pit.
can tell he was part pit.
Yeah.
Well, if a dog is confiscated by animal control, there's a group of veterinarians who are specialists in determining if a dog is 50% or more pit. And if it's 50% or more pit, it is euthanized automatically.
Oh my goodness.
So, you know, I've always been worried about coming down to Miami with her, but I see other people, like on Miami Beach, the young guys walking with pit bulls, and it seems like if there's not a problem with the dog, the cops don't just go and take the dog away from you.
I know that dogs used in fights have their ears cropped and their tails docked, often by their owners. Didn't you tell me there was a legislation to ban this?
Yeah, in Vermont, we tried last session.
I don't know about Florida. I think it's probably, I would think it would be everywhere. It would be the most logical law to pass, which didn't pass in Vermont.
Well, we talked in front of the Vermont House Agriculture last year with a bill to stop pet owners from debarking the dogs themselves and cutting the ears, and they didn't take it up.
Why would anybody not be in favor of this law?
You know what? The Dr. Virginia Clark from the Vermont Veterinarian Medical Association spoke about the gruesome details about people debarking dogs.
Unbelievable.
You put a pipe down and you rip the muscles in the throat, and then ear cropping. You know, they call it ear cropping. It's ear cutting.
It is cutting.
It's vascular. It's very, very painful.
And it's very bloody because an ear has a lot of blood vessels in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Sounds like pits are often abused and neglected. Too often the type of person who wants a pet, the name given these dogs,
Staffordshire.
Staffordshire
Terriers
Yeah,
and Bull
it's a mouthful.
Terriers are the dogs fought in the pits, the areas dogs were put for gruesome blood sports.
Yeah, that's where they came up with the name pit, because they
Okay.
fought
They
them
were
in the pits. Yep.
Yeah,
Can you tell me about the damage done to the dogs and the effects?
Well, physical damage with them looks a lot worse than what they feel, because pits and all fighting breeds are much more immune to pain than other dogs. This is why they bred them for this. That's the reason. Other dogs would long give up. And with them, if they taste and see blood, and if they get hurt themselves, it even encourages them to be more aggressive.
You know.
It's unbelievable.
Well, you know, the pits, too, they have such a desire to please
Yes.
the people that they love.
Yes.
And this is why they're great family dogs.
They are.
I mean, they're wonderful with children. Kiwi, who I've talked about, Kiwi, he was abused, neglected when I first got him. He and his brother, they would have killed us if they had the chance.
I remember those dogs.
And you know what? It was with time and giving them the chance to be loved and to know that they were cared for, that they grew into what they had the potential to be and were supposed to be. It's people that screw things up. I mean, pits, they're wonderful.
It's like, you know, the Michael Vick's dogs. Most of them were adopted to families. And to families with children, because they are very good. They may fight other dogs, but they are very good with their owners. And the veterinarian in South Carolina told me that with all of it, most of the veterinarians, all the personnel, they like pits best of all.
Yeah.
Because they're usually low key. They're not hysterical, not barking all over the place.
Right.
They're intelligent.
They are very intelligent, and when people don't realize this, a pit or a fighting dog will get the best of you mentally, and they will run you and your life and your household and your whole neighborhood.
See, in Kiwi, his mission in life was to be my guardian. He wanted to make sure that I was okay, and he had to be by my side all the time. They are just so loving animals.
This dog is extremely protective of all children, puppies, kittens, small dogs.
Yeah.
She will never attack a small dog. We've had our problems with big dogs, bigger than her. But small animals, never.
Yeah.
Never.
Very gentle.
I like what I read on Caesar's website. That's very extensive.
Well, Cesar Millan on National Geographic, I can recommend highly that everybody who has a dog or is getting a dog, not only a fighting breed, but any dog, watch him and get his books. And I want to show this picture of Caesar's pit bull daddy, who used to be a problem dog. He died last year at the age of 16. And he was his constant companion and helped him in recuperating other dogs that were not balanced.
Didn't you say he had 40 at his
He
house at
has
one time?
approximately a pack of 40 rescue dogs, of which 80% are pit bulls that were all problem dogs.
Love it. I love it.
All problem dogs. And as a matter of fact, if I had ever lived out on the West Coast, because she was aggressive towards other dogs, I was going to bring her to his ranch there, and for a couple, 2-3 weeks, so she would get along with other dogs. But I wasn't going to drive to the West Coast for that.
You know, let's put up the spelling of his name in case people want to contact him.
It's Cesar, C-E-S-A-R, Millan, M-I-L-L-A-N. And he has his shows on National Geographic every day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and Friday evenings. And also he has various books that he has written.
He's got a great website. It's really extensive.
He is, to me, he is the most logical person. And I have to tell you one thing, without knowing it, I raised this dog the way my mother raised me. Very strict, but very fair and with a lot of love.
Yeah, well, you know what? It shows.
It shows.
And I've known Pinky for years. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
and
she's wonderful.
Yeah. Hey, Susan, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming
very
and sharing
much.
that.
I appreciate it.
Any parting words?
Get a pit from rescue.
Yes, I love it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very
Pinky.
much.